everyone, welcome back to my channel. Like always, thank you so much for tuning in again. Today we have a long overdue video because I posted these swatches and when I received this package on Instagram, but I didn't want to go ahead and just jump right into a video. I actually wanted to play with the products, so it isn't going to be a first impression. I am going to go ahead and kind of talk about the pros and the cons on this palette because I do feel a certain type of way about this palette. But let's introduce what we're going to be talking about today. And today we're going to be talking about the Huda Beauty 3D highlighters, and I have both of them. I have Pink Sands edition and Golden Sands edition, and I actually purchased these the day that they released on Huda Beauty's website. I was only going to pick up Golden Sands because I thought it was going to be more geared towards my skin tone, but I'm actually glad I picked up both because if you don't spend over $75, I want to say, you have to pay like $20 in shipping. It is so crazy. So I went ahead and I just purchased two because I did want to do the review on it anyways, and I'm glad I did because Pink Sands is my favorite one, and you'll see why in a little bit. But overall, I don't know if I would have repurchased them again that way. Maybe I would have waited towards the Sephora side of it just because I don't really love them as much as I thought I was gonna love them, especially in the way that they are kind of promoted and how she says that you should use them. So she says that you have to use them as like a highlight, a cream, a highlight, a blush, and a contour shade. But honestly, I feel like both of them aren't suited towards that. And if you're like me and you like a more matte bronzer or contour, you're not going to use it in that way. But I mean, if you use it for what it is on its own without the whole advertising as a 4-in-1 kind of a thing, and you use the shades on their own, it is very pretty. So let's talk about the first one here, and we have Pink Sands. And this is what they look like. The packaging is actually very pretty on both of them. You get this like pretty like glow on her face, on Huda's face, and these do retail for $45 a piece. They come in this like cardboard packaging and it doesn't have a mirror. Instead, what it has here are the 4 steps and how to use it. So you prep, you set, you sculpt, and you flush. So the prep is the cream, and then you have the set, which is like the highlighter, and then the sculpt, which would be this shade, which would be kind of like the contour because it says to apply under the cheekbones dimension. But I mean, I don't know anybody who would get away with using this as like a contour or like a sculpting shade. And then we have flush, and this is going to be like the blush shade, and honestly I don't see how they would work. Let's do some quick swatches. So the first one we have here is Capri, and this is going to be the cream shade in it. So it's the only cream, and that's what that looks like. It swatches so very pretty. And then we have Santori, and Santori is going to be the very nice kind of like white with a duochrome shift. It has like a gold undertone to it. It's very pretty. This would be the highlighter shade. And then we have Azores, and Azores is this beautiful like gold shade, and it is a stunning highlight. I don't think anybody would be able to use this as a sculpting shade. And then we have Ibiza, and Ibiza is a very pink, gorgeous highlight. I'm not sure if I like it as a blush because it is super, super light, but that's what that looks like. This is the Pink Sands palette. As you can see, they're very pretty shades on their own. I don't think she did the best job at advertising it as kind of like an all-in-one like sculpting and blush, and no. Honestly, I just would use this one by one. In the demo, I went ahead and I did it exactly how she says it, and I'm not the biggest fan. Let's talk about Huda Beauty's Golden Sands edition. So this is what this one looks like, and again, you do not get a mirror. You get the 3 steps, and this one actually has a shade that maybe would work as like a contour or like a bronzer if anything, because it is very warm tone, but it is a highlighter, so there is a lot of sheen. So the first one we have is Fiji, and this is the cream, and it is very, very gold, and this is what it looks like swatched. Very pretty. I actually really like this cream shade. And then we have Salichis, and it is another kind of like antique, kind of like darker gold shade, and this is what it looks like swatched. Actually very pretty. I love this one on its own. And then we have Tahiti, and Tahiti is supposedly the contour or like the sculpting shade, but it's just a true bronze shade that you can go ahead if you have a deeper skin tone and use, or I've been using it as eyeshadow. It actually does a great job as eyeshadow. And then we have Zanzibar, and Zanzibar is going to be a beautiful like pinky. It's kind of deeper than the one in the Pink Sands palette, but this is what it looks like. So this is Golden Sands and this is Pink Sands. As you can see, this one has a lot more golds, obviously, that's in the name. And this one has more like light colors and pinks. So this is what they both look like. They have similar shades, but not really. This one, the Golden Sands, is more for medium to deep skin tones, and then we have light to medium. I feel like if you're light medium like me, you can get away with using this one because I do reach for the golds in here because they're absolutely beautiful, and I do kind of brighten them up with the Pink Sands edition. These are $45 and you only get 4 shades, so it is a pretty pricey palette. But again, all of her palettes are pretty pricey. Like her rose gold eyeshadow palette was $65, which is it's a pretty penny. So definitely wait until these hit Sephora's because like I was saying, the creams I do not like in this palette. I feel like they are very pretty, like the colors are very, very pretty, but they actually move my foundation. Like when I'm applying it, I've tried it with a sponge, I've tried it with a brush, I've tried it with my finger. Any way that I try it, it moves my foundation and it kind of makes it look a little like splotchy and uneven, and then I have to kind of go in and like blend it out more and hope that the powder kind of like hides it. But we all know that a highlighter emphasizes it, so it's kind of a heartache because I really, really wanted to love these. The powders are very beautiful. They're very, very in your face. They do not have glitter, so if you're not a fan of glitter, definitely go ahead and check these out because there's no glitter in here. It's just like a straight sheen, and it's gonna give your face like a very wet look. I love it so much, but the creams are honestly not the best. I like my Cover FX more, I like my Marc Jacobs, my coconut one more, but this one is just a little bit too hard to work with. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, it was really hard to not like remove my foundation. And honestly, not honestly, but I do not use these on top of powders. So I do not set my face before I go in. I know better than to do that. And even then, it still gives me a hard time. So definitely wait. It comes out in Sephora's here in the US June 1st is the last thing I heard. I know that they just released it on Cult Beauty's website. So if you want to get your hands on it, you can get it there. Or honestly, I would suggest you guys just wait so you can swatch it in stores. I was going to pick this one up, but like I said, I ended up liking this one a lot more, the Pink Sands one. So the colors vary. Like I said, you could get away with it if you're my skin tone, but definitely go swatch them. Honestly, guys, I've had some trouble and I've been wanting to love these so bad, but you're gonna see in the demo that it's kind of hard to blend out the creams. It's kind of annoying and it's frustrating because these aren't cheap palettes and you have a big pan of cream, and if you don't like it, it's gonna end up going to waste. So definitely make sure you go ahead in store and you see for yourself, feel it, apply it onto your face, set it, because since it's so like thick, it kind of is hard to set. But that is just my honest opinion, guys. Let's jump right into the demo so you guys can see it and you guys can see for yourselves. So let's get right into it. I don't have anything but foundation and I haven't even set it with powder just because we are going to be working with a cream product. So let's get right into this. I have the Pink Sands edition here and then I have the Gold Sands. We're going to put the Gold Sands on this side and the pink edition on this side just to see the comparisons, and I do have a light medium skin tone. So the first shade that we're going to use, and we're going to use it exactly how she showed it on her Snapchat, on her Instagram, and even on the rules right here, just because I mean you could go individually and not use the cream because I've done that, but I'm gonna go ahead and do it as she says just so we can get the most glow out of this palette, okay? So for the first one here, we have Fiji, and I'm gonna go ahead and this is what it looks like, and I'm gonna go ahead on my finger and I'm just gonna go and I'm gonna tap it out like I would with any cream product. Let me scoot you guys in a little bit closer. And it has a very, very gold finish to it. Okay, so now that that's all done, it does feel very goopy. So it's kind of like thick and a little bit hard to blend out. So keep that in mind. And now on a Real Technique setting brush, I'm gonna go ahead and take Salichis on this beautiful like gold shade. And this is what it looks like. This is a quick swatch. I'm gonna go ahead and take that on a clean setting brush and I'm gonna apply it right on top of the powder. That's intense. that gives a really pretty glow. And now we're going to take Tahiti, and Tahiti says apply Tahiti under the cheekbones to add dimension and shape. So I'm guessing that this is going to be like a topper on a bronzer or contour. I wouldn't go ahead and just with this color just because I don't like shimmery bronzers, but for the sake of this video, let's go ahead and do that. And I'm just going to add it right in this area. Okay, once you add it, it doesn't look too shimmery. Okay, and I'm just going to clean off my brush, and last but not least, we're going to take Zanzibar, and this is going to be basically a blush. So we're going to take that, and just on the same brush, just because I am cleaning it off in between takes, we're going to go ahead and pop this on the apples of the cheeks. There you have it. This is the gold edition, the gold sands edition. Let's move on to the pink sands edition now. Okay, so let's move on to the pink sands edition, and the same thing, we're going to go ahead and use it exactly how it's instructed. So again, I'm going to take Capri, and this is the cream shade in the palette, and I'm going to go ahead and put that on the high points of my cheeks. It gives a nice glow. Definitely more muted down than the golden sands one. Okay, now that that's blended out into the skin, I'm going to go ahead on a clean brush, and this is just my Morphe R31 brush, and I'm going to take Santori, and Santori is the white with gold reflex shade in the palette, and this is going to serve as our highlight. That actually looks really pretty. And the next one we have is Azores. I'm not going to use this to sculpt just because it is like a true gold. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to put that be a little bit under the white shade that we applied, just to add dimension. It's pretty. And last but not least, we're going to take Ibiza, and it is the pinky shade in this palette. And I'm going to go ahead and use that as a blush. And there you have it. This is the Pink Sands edition. And that's basically it, beauties. That's how they applied. As you saw, the creams do give me a little bit of trouble. They are pretty hard to blend out, but then once you have them on and you blend them all together, it does look pretty. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say that I absolutely hate this palette, because that would be a lie. I don't. I think that the powders in here are very beautiful, not glittery, not chunky, just a beautiful sheen, and they kind of give you like that wet look. And if you don't even have to use this cream, but I mean, that kind of defeats the purpose of buying this highlighter palette. So it's definitely up to you, because if you want three very pretty kind of like beautiful lit from within and wet highlighters, definitely pick this up. I wouldn't use the pinks in any of these as blush, just because I like more of a matte blush, and I do not love the creams in here. Like I said 1,000 times, I feel like they're too difficult to work with. They pull at my foundation, they remove my foundation. So take it for what it is, a highlighter at a time. I don't think you should follow these rules, just because I feel like nobody would be able to kind of like contour their face with a true gold shade. So that's just my take on these. I do like them. I like the pink shades as a highlighter, not as a blush. If you have a light hand, you can definitely make these work. You could play around with these, but that's basically it. That's my review on these. Definitely wait until they hit Sephora's, because I don't want you guys to go run out and pay $45 and then $20 in like shipping and then not like these. So wait, if you live in the US, they will be available June 1st in Sephora's, and then you guys can go ahead and play with them. But thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know in the comment sections if you love it, if you have it, did you get it, did you not get it, what do you think? Let me know if this is something that you wanted to pick up. But yeah, I love you guys, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!